Mark Heindel, the head coach of the Ridgway Elkers.
Jonathan Hinton, quarterback and defensive back.
Dan Park, left tackle and defensive end.
Eric Sauberg, fullback and linebacker.
All right, the Ridgway Elkers here at D9 Media Day. Guys, welcome. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
All right, let's get right into it. Getting ready for fall camp here in a couple weeks. And what position group on the team, guys, are you most confident in as you head into this season?
I'm going to have to say the offensive lineman and the defensive lineman because I'm a part of both of them.
I think, like he said, the offensive line. We got a lot of linemen returning, and a lot of linemen worked hard in the offseason, putting it in the hours in the weight room, and I'm very confident running behind them.
Yeah, I think the linemen as well, and we're bringing back a lot of our running backs as well, so I think our backfield's looking pretty good too.
Coach, what about you? Which position group are you most confident
It's
in?
not even a position group, and these guys know kind of our motto at Ridgway. Just the senior group for what they have done in the offseason this year, I couldn't ask for anything more. And to be leaders, not only we get together to do mini camps, but to see what they've done just to get guys involved in the weight room and community events, it set a precedence, and hopefully it's going to carry on to the field with us in the fall.
And then conversely, what position group are you guys maybe most concerned about as we head into the season?
Can we be honest? I'm not really a part of them, but I would probably say our defensive backs mainly because there's so many threats everywhere in different areas that it's just really hard to cover, especially if we go man. I noticed it last year. We kind of struggled covering, but I'm probably most concerned with our D-backs.
I don't think we have a weak position necessarily. I think we're strong everywhere. Of course, injuries happen, and if injuries happen, then you have to move pieces around, and that just throws the entire defense or offense into disarray. So we just have to stay healthy.
Yeah, kind of saying what Eric just said, and also with Dan, we just need to stay healthy. I think there's not really one weak spot that we can kind of pick out.
Our big thing is we just got to make sure we get the new guys up to speed with what we've done in the past and adding in some of the elements of what we're trying to do. And to me, that's what camp's all about. And we try to get better every day. And if we can do that, the sky's the limit.
And then what's been the biggest benefit for you guys that you've seen as we kind of have gotten back on a more normal off-season schedule where you're able to have, team camps and workouts and things all throughout the off-season?
I'd have to say the weight room. A bunch of seniors have been there. We've been trying to get everyone we possibly can a part of the team to get involved. And that's probably one of the biggest things that brought this entire team together would be the weight room.
I'd have to agree with Dan. I think the weight room, it's very important for, getting ready for the season, but there's often stuff that most people don't notice, like team chemistry. In the weight room, team chemistry is built, and we're very grateful we were able to have the opportunity to be in the weight room.
Yeah, definitely weight room, and just having our normal off season with the 7-on-7s definitely helps. It helps, I think, all of us just kind of realize that we're on a normal season and we're back to kind of normal ways.
In this group here, amongst the rest of the seniors, they have taken the bull by the horns to get them in the weight room, and in our attendance at voluntary off-season activities has been outstanding. And to me, and as for the rest of the coaches, it tells us that they want to take another step.
And as we look back on last season and as we head into this season, if you guys had to pick one guy from last year that you're going to have to replace going into this season, who would that player be, and then how do you plan to replace him?
I'd have to say Alex Bond. And he wasn't one of the guys that fill up the stat sheet, but he was a leader, and he was someone that people look up to. And when things got hard, we could look up to him. And we're just going to have to try our best to replace a leader like that, because he's one of those players where his impact goes well beyond the stat sheet, and we just have to do our best to try to replace that.
You guys would agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our big thing is with our senior class last year, and we kind of hit on this talking on the way over here. I don't think there's been a group, not only just through Ridgway, but through all out the United States, of a group of seniors that struggled with what they did last year with COVID. And my hat's off to those kids, because we're hoping what's going to be normal for us, a lot of that was taken away from them last year with only playing 6 games.
Who have you guys seen, either individually or as a position group, that's made the biggest gain so far this offseason?
I would have to say, once again, probably the offensive and defensive line, because we've been harping on it all year. me especially, I've been trying to get as many as guys as I possibly can into the weight room because, like we've mentioned before, there's no good football team without a good offensive and defensive line because it all starts up front. So as long as I can keep my quarterback's jerseys clean, I'm happy.
And I'm sure he's happy about that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Anybody else make some big gains so far this offseason?
I think individually, Hunter Wall and Braden Renaud are two people coming to the offensive line that are definitely going to be players this year and definitely people to watch out for. I think Tyler Merritt and Will Howard, they're returning, but they made those big gains in the offseason. Obviously, Johnny, he's coming in. He's filling that quarterback role for Ben Briggs and then like Paul Gresco. But you could just see at the beginning of the 7-on-7 season, like how much he's improved in the gains he's made.
I also think everybody as well, like everybody in the team has improved greatly from our first 7-on-7 practice to our last one as well.
And Coach, what about your perspective?
My perspective, and these guys have hit on all of it. This is the earliest that we've started off-season workouts. We usually give them a week off when school got out, but I think these guys realized that, the only thing you're never in control of is time. And when time was taken away from us last year, they realized just how precious that was. And from the first Tuesday that we started up there in June up until we actually have a team camp going on today, it's amazing to see how hard these guys have worked and where they want to go.
Taking into consideration everything that's happened last year, as you head into this season, how will you define success for the year?
I mean, personally, the only thing that I would count as success would be winning another district title. Because, I mean, the only way that I really want to go out, probably as long with my seniors here and every senior that's been interviewed so far, is probably they want to win a district title because you don't want to go out if you're not on top.
I think sort of the same as Dan. Last year we had our streak ended. We had 4 D9 titles coming in, and then it got ended by Brookville last year. That left a very sour taste in our mouth, and that was one of the big motivators this offseason, was trying to get back in a position to win a district title.
I'd say the same, yeah.
To kind of build off that, I know players, they look at it in terms of district titles. To me, I'm going to see what we look like week 1, and to see the hard work that's been put in from, obviously last October when we walked off the field there in the 23rd up until we open up with St. Mary's there on the opening Friday. I'm anxious to see how that hard work paid off. And if anything over the summer is a sign, we know St. Mary's brings back a lot of guys, and they bring back a lot of experience and enthusiasm from what they build off of. I think you're going to see a good showing by both teams on that Friday.
And as you look at your schedule, you kind of get back into a normal schedule this year also. Who are you looking at? Maybe I'm going to circle this date on the calendar because I know that's a team that's going to give us a tough challenge.
I think all of the games we have a really hard schedule. I mean, District 9 is no fluke of a district. We have a bunch of really good, hard teams to play. I mean, there's not really one that just you got to circle. You got to be ready. If you really want to circle, you should circle all of them because you're trying to want to do your best every single game you play.
Yeah, I think each team's just going to give us a different challenge, so we just got to take it game by game.
I think it's just important to not overlook anyone. Anything can happen on any given night. Anyone can upset anyone, but we're looking forward to St. Mary's. Last year they beat us twice. They beat us on our home turf for the first time in a couple of years. So we know they're a very good team, very well coached, but we're looking forward to the challenge.
We're always the same mentality. First game on the schedule, and then we'll take it from there.
All right, and then last thing, guys, what are you most looking forward to as we head into the season?
The crowd, the fans finally being back. It's weird playing both, like any sport possible with no crowd there. There's no momentum. There's no one to cheer you on. I mean, you can't look at a camera and see them wooing for you. So I'm excited for the fans to be back in full swing.
I'd have to say the fans too.
Yeah, just the Friday night atmosphere.
To build off that, just in Ridgway and Johnsonburg alone, when we're home, just to see the people that come out just to watch these guys play, to me, that's what it's all about.
All right, guys, the Ridgway Johnsonburg Elkers, thank you for stopping by and good luck this season.
Thanks for
Thank you.
having us.